Hi, thanks for watching that videocast live from adtech in London '07. Today I'm very excited because I'm with Erikhauser, the creative director of swivelmedia
Close enough.
and the founder of the Experiential Marketing Forum. So I'm extremely pleased. Thanks, Eric, for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Let me put some context for that video podcast. The idea is to talk about virtual worlds and what they can bring to banks, basically, and how banks can leverage that medium. You all know that the banking industry is a highly regulated industry. There's some concerns around Web 2.0 in general, like user-generated content,
Absolutely.
like virtual worlds in terms of you're not able to control everything. So which kind of issues can you face with those in those virtual worlds? That's the main challenge. To the contrary, we saw banks launching very innovative offers or services or initiatives on those virtual worlds like Second Life, like Wells Fargo back in 2004, if I'm correct.
04, 05. It's funny that the space is so exciting, and it was actually the first one in was a financial services institution, which is interesting considering they have all the regulations. So it was fun times, and it was a long process to sell it through, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, I think you've been very active. You've helped them launch the Stagecoach Island there.
Absolutely.
Nice.
And it's fair to say that in the next month to 2 months, you'll see a different version of Stagecoach Island come out 2.0, which is really more focused on the financial education aspect of it, which is going to be distributed through schools and such, which is extremely exciting for us because that was one of our main goals was fiscal literacy. So
it's going to be 50% entertaining and 50%
it's no more 99% fun, 1% education. It's going to be more along the lines of 50-50. So we had planned that from the get-go, but we needed to warm up people to the idea of what we were actually doing, and so at that particular case we had to skew a little bit more towards the entertainment. And so now that we've got their attention, we've noticed one thing. We noticed is that majority of the users that come in, I think it's 85%, visited the Learning Lounge more than 5 times. And so what that told us is that people really have a thirst for knowledge in the confines of their home. They may not ask their friends about APR, but they really want to know, which drove us to create a more educational based environment. So
that's quite interesting because Wells Fargo is very involved. They've got a kind of flash service on their homepage as well. I can't remember the name now, but they've got a flash interactive service, and then you can ask questions about financial issues or how to manage your money, or it's.
I mean, I have to tell you, and I'm not just saying this because Wells Fargo is a client. They have done a spectacular job of managing the digital space. They have been put forth amazing initiatives with blogs and so on and so forth. Stagecoach Island has an amazing blog itself. They have a person on staff which oversees it, talking about the privacy and the regulations. Listen, banks are held, financial services are held to a higher standard, and so what we do is we have safeties in place. We can and we have things that monitor chat, so in case something happens we can look back. We have real world liaisons that do monitor behavior, and we also have call in, people can report it, ways to keep the community secure, because that's what's most important. We want to facilitate the interaction among people. We want to have a dialogue among people that are inside the game, but we want to make sure it's as safe as possible.
Okay. Have you been involved in those blogs as well, or?
I am not personally involved in the Stagecoach Island. It's done by somebody on the Wells Fargo side, but it's all really built around the whole community of concept and what this whole thing is really all about, which is bringing everybody together to have a great time, and while they're at it, learn a little bit about finances. So.
Does it belong to adtech or?
Ed has a blogging group that's separate, but this is in my involvement. Yes, absolutely, we designed it and all that other stuff, but we don't run it ourselves. That's run from the Wells side, and like I said, in the financial services category, they are head and shoulders above everybody else currently in doing that.
Yeah, I think they're top notch as well. Yeah, I've got a post on my blog on Wells Fargo. Yes. So yeah, the idea is that for a bank, why would I want as a bank to open an island, so to create an island on Second Life or any other network of virtual worlds, and which one would I choose? Is there only Second Life, or is there what can I choose?
Yeah, it's interesting, and I always say Second Life is only part of the conversation. For the most part, there's more metaverses out there than almost websites at this point, and so why would you want to do it as a bank? There's many answers to that one question. You may want to educate youth like we did. You may want to change the perception of the bank like we did. You may want to hire people such as the gentleman before from the Royal Bank of Scotland. But again, what's most important before you just jump into this is that you do know what your objectives are, and then build around it. Is Second Life the answer? Maybe, maybe not. But what you need to do is hire an expert or somebody that's familiar with it to do a landscape analysis to say, here's all your options, so that you can become informed and make the intelligent decision on which platform you're going to use.